All right, what's up, everybody? So, I was just listening to Danica Marie, I believe. I think that's what it was. Um, and she was talking about deleting black babies, male babies, so. Um, and this is like an old thing or something like that. And it triggered me. Like right now, I'm just like, you know, I was a black baby, male baby at one time. You feel me? So like, I take personal issue with that. So um, I'm gonna share my mind with you, share my thoughts with you. Um, I know that what I say, the world can see, and I have to be careful because my life can be changed by the vibrations that's coming out of my mouth. All right. Um, I see this word in a psychological way. Um, when I really started thinking this way, it was like 26. Um, but let's say this: how I look right now. I got a haircut uh, Friday, so I'm just going back a little bit. Um, everything's about what you could see and what you could hear, right? And the more times you hear anything and the more times you see anything, the more you reference it. You don't have control of that reference either. You don't. Um, well, let's not say you don't. You say you can control it, but most people don't, and they're not even aware of it. Um, and that's how you can control the hive mind. That's how you can influence people to do things. Not everybody's going to do it, but the majority will. And the percentile goes up and down on different things. But with repetition over time, more people will do it. There's like social experiments they've done on things like that, like Coca-Cola, right? They started playing drink Coke commercials or advertisements at movie theaters, and people, the percentage of people buying Coke increased, and that's what I reference when I think about that, right? So before I turn this camera on, I like move my background. You feel what I'm saying? Like that hanger right there, there was a coat right there. And I don't want y'all to see that coat because then you would know. You would reference something and you would know too much about me personally. And I just don't want to share that, right? So I removed it. But everything up there, like there's something up there right now that can reference what I do if somebody's smart and can see it. See what I'm saying? Um, I know you see Rick up there, right? So that's a reference. What is that? What does Rick reference you to? Okay. I really want everybody to understand how your mind works, right? I was talking to my uncle the other day, and we was talking about mind control and all the rest of that stuff. And he's a man's man, so you know, he's always going to analyze what you're saying, and if it don't sound right, he gonna tell you, and he's not gonna agree with everything you say. Just agree with everything you say because that's not who he is, right? Um, so it's very difficult to get him to agree to some things, or he'll just say, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like Kevin Samuels. You feel what I'm saying? And if you pay attention, when you make a point, he's not really gonna give it to you, but he'll say when he does give it to you, I'll say he's not gonna. I can't say he's not really gonna give it to you, but when he does give it to you, he says okay. He's not gonna do anything. He doesn't usually do more than that. All right. Um, that's a reference. But everything's just your mind is full of references. All right. So back to my uncle. Like if we were talking about brainwashing, right? And brainwashing happens over a long period of time. It doesn't just happen. You just meet somebody and hypnotize them with a watch or something, or you say things to them and all of a sudden they doing certain. No, it's not like that, because that's a short way of thinking of brainwashing. That somebody just coming up to you, giving you some substance. Well, they do have substances that can possibly make you do that I've heard of and researched, but I haven't experienced it or known anybody experience it themselves. Um, but it's called Dragon's Breath. But anyway, that's a reference. You can research that. You feel me saying? Everything I say, you can research. Because I researched it. That's why I'm talking about it. If I haven't researched it, I'll tell you I haven't researched it if I decide to talk about it. Because I'm not going to be a person to say that I don't talk about things I haven't researched. Feel what I'm saying? But I definitely won't act like I know what I'm talking about if I haven't researched it. And then there's multiple levels of knowing. You know what I'm saying? Because there is planted information to where they want you to reference this and do what they want you to do. And that's where we're going, right? So back to my uncle, and we're talking about brainwashing, right? Now, if we watch let's say 5 kung fu flicks. Let's say we watch Master Ip 1 and 2, right? Then we watch Jackie Chan and what's that fool name? I want to say Smokey. That's or I want to say Chris Rock. I know that's not Chris Rock. It's damn. Chris Webber reference through my mind. That's not him, right? I'm trying to understand, show you how the mind works. Chris Tucker. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm not talking about Chris Tucker. We're talking about, and then another 2 flicks we watch, Jet Li and I'm even gonna name the 2 flicks because that's going beyond what I'm trying to talk about. Because you'll reference something else, trying to get you to reference watching kung fu flicks, right? So we can watch 6 kung fu flicks, so 2 of each one. You feel what I'm saying? But really, what I'm trying to get you to understand is, if you watch kung fu flicks all day, right? Now, let's say 100 people watch, or 100 different rooms, and they all watch kung fu flicks, right? We'll take it outside of just you as a person, because a lot of people like to be like, oh, I wouldn't do that. So I'm going to take it outside of you. Imagine 100 rooms of 100 people paid $1,000 to watch kung fu flicks all day, right? So they're in a good mood. Okay, gave them $1,000 before they even got in the motherfucking room. Okay, excuse my language, but I'm just being, anyway, myself. There you go. But got a camera in there. Now I want you to understand that possibly 90% of those rooms, people are gonna start punching and kicking. For real. And you would too. If you watched maybe even 3 kung fu flicks, you might get up and start doing a kick or a punch or doing some shit like that. Right? But that's the power of influence. And you reference watching this so much that you'll want to act it out yourself. Now, we're talking about deleting black babies, right? Black male babies, right? And I think the argument was that they're going to be basically menaces to society, right? And there's like movies that you can reference telling movies when I talk about that, right? Referencing that shit. especially like that movie and then the funny one. You feel what I'm saying? Um, but those are still references to this image of a black man. You feel what I'm saying? And everything in that movie, everything that happened is a stereotype of who I am. You know what I'm saying? When I face value, you know? Um, and the more I look like them, or the more I do things like them, people reference that and believe this is who I am without thinking that, okay, everybody's completely different, right? Anyway, um, where was I? I'm gonna talk about my uncle. I'm gonna talk about these kung fu flicks. We got these rooms, right? So 90% of the rooms, right? Um, people, it's just a natural thing. So it was something else. If so, now if you listen to this is a crossover. I was going over to this is about black babies, right? Black male babies, and yeah, they're Mr. Society. They're not wanted because the culture they're immersed in will have them grow up and be these undesirable human beings. All right. Um, where did this conversation come from? To me, it sounds like a eugenist mindset. Um, and I do believe we're in a psychological war. All animals try to outsmart each other. That's nature. Everything has a nature. Um, nature is cruel, as you know. You feel me? It's very cruel. If you watch the Natural Geographic Channel, and I grew up watching it. I grew up watching documentaries, animal documentaries, nature documentaries, because that was interesting to me. Um, stayed on Discovery Channel 39, uh, History Channel if it has something about animals. Um, let's just say this: my favorite animal is the tiger, and it's the tiger because I feel like it's the most powerful and intelligent at the same time. Without being man. Um, anyway, back to deleting black babies. That is a eugenist mindset to me. And if this is if we're in a psychological war, because we're animals ourselves, we breathe air and we have digestive systems and we have empathy and all of that, if compassion and hate and evil and all the rest of that. You feel what I'm saying? We have all these emotions. We share. Um, we like to watch cat videos and like to see animals like humans, and you feel me? Um, these are all my references, and I reference a lot of things because I'm always researching and thinking and trying to understand, and that's just my nature. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Virgo, and you know everything I'm saying is a reference, and I try to be as truthful as possible, and I understand that I can't be wrong. That's part of nature, right? So human beings are opportunists, and human beings, just like animals, try to outsmart each other. But when I say outsmart, and I'm not even gonna say that animals don't do it in their own communication. We don't understand their communication, right? So it's about we lie, and we lie to control, and like animals mislead to control. Like for some reason I want to reference a cuttlefish, where it'll act like a female, and then change its color to a female, and then when the big male is um, not watching, he'll impregnate um, the female. And I think other uh, species of animals do that same thing. You feel what I'm saying? Um, and life is about. I know a lot of people ask, like, "What's life about? Why are we here?" Like, life is about procreation. You feel what I'm saying? It's about having children. It's about spreading seed. You know what I'm saying? That's what life's about. Um, and it's all about like, I look at the animal world first, right? Like, there's different populations of the same species, right? And some intermix and some don't intermix, right? Like, there's different kinds of finches, right? And do they interbreed? I don't know about finches. But I know about bears, though, and I know I've been seeing these hybrid polar grizzly bears doing it on their own, right? That's because some climate, you know what I'm saying? But their intelligence isn't like them lying and giving each other stereotypes about each other and saying don't procreate with them. You know what I'm saying? So they naturally do it, and it's like we naturally do it, but we lie about, or we're ignorant about how people are. You know what I'm saying? So keep to yourself. You know, um, don't be with this. My own grandma didn't want me dating white women. My last girlfriend didn't uh, want me dating white women. You know what I'm saying? Ask me questions about that. Have I dated a white woman before? But she had blonde hair in a picture talking about blonde hairs have more fun, something like that. Anyway, that's a side thought. My side reference. You know what I'm saying? So back to deleting these black babies. So we not that's a eugenist mindset, and talking about power of influence, talking about psychology, talking about we in a psychological war. So if we're in a psychological war and animals do the same thing, this is what's going on in our society. We're in a psychological war, and they're controlling reference. And how they control reference is they control language, they control money. You feel me? And this has been going on for a long, long period of time. This isn't some new shit. This is strategic psychological warfare to take over the world. That's end goal. Take over the world. Control the world. There are people who are doing this. I don't know if that's hard to comprehend. These people are trying to take over the world. They're not just trying to own corporations and businesses. And no, they want to control you and what you do every day and decide if you should live or not. And nobody tells them what to do because they control the world, right? Reminds me of Pinky the Brain. You feel what I'm saying? Uh, anyway, so deleting these black babies, the way you get people but there's always been this thing about, devaluing the black man. You know what I'm saying? The black man has the lowest value. Like, Black Lives Matter, I don't believe it should be Black Lives Matter. It should be Black Lives Have Value, because the word value has way more, has a stronger definition than matters. And then let me get me started on the founders and who pays them and where their money goes, and like, everything's a lie, bro. Like, but there's still a nature to the lie. You feel what I'm saying? Is like co-op's a coup or a co-op, like, or let's just say when the Panthers was organized. You feel what I'm saying? And that's why they got smacked. Huey Newton and dang, he got smacked laying down in the bed with his girl and the baby. And I'm upset with myself that I can't remember his name right now. Remember his big eyes. He had a movie about him that just was out. You feel me? But that's not a strong enough reference for me when I should know his name. You feel what I'm saying? Hold on, I'm about to get my phone so I can write his name. It's gonna make me upset. I won't be able to finish my video. Okay, pull up my other phone. You see, I got this one here. You feel me? And that's another thing. I'm gonna do my videos. Having another phone so I could show you, like, you feel me, what I'm researching. You feel what I'm saying? So you could understand what I'm trying to show you, like social experiments on how if there's 6 actors and one person comes in and everybody's saying the answers that's right is wrong, the person who doesn't know that they're all actors, after 2 or 3 times, maybe the second time, maybe the first time, he'll go along with the group even though he knows it's wrong, just so he'll fit in. There's a feeling of that makes you want to fit in. It's a psychological feeling. You feel uncomfortable psychologically when you're in a room with people and they're not doing the opposite or doing something different that you don't agree with. But there's also a personal strength to know what's right and what's wrong. And like me, I'm not gonna do it. I do a lot of the opposite things that people in society do, just because I know that people are being led in the wrong direction. Okay, so I'm trying to remember this guy's name who was shot in the bed with his from the Black Panthers, who was shot in his bed. Hold on, I'm cold in this. I'm gonna turn on my heater. Okay. Chrome. Let's go to Google. Black Panther who got shot laying down. Fred Hampton. Sorry, Fred, that I didn't remember your name. I've said it before, but anyway. So when people start organizing and they infiltrated that. They infiltrated the Black Panthers and the police murdered Fred Hampton and laughed about it. And this is terrible, And a lot of people don't, like, I didn't remember his name because it's not referenced enough to me. Now, if this was something widely referenced, that's how everybody knows. And if you control, like, they're censoring everything right now. Okay? That's control. They're controlling. That's how you control minds, because you can't reference it because it's not there. All right? So deleting these black babies comes from a eugenist mindset, and this is psychological warfare. And if we understand how to control